Whenever I like think about being in a relationship, I think about how they affect my reputation, because I have full control over how I'm being perceived by others, how I'm building my reputation. But I think when it comes to a partner, because like obviously they're their own human being, and like I lose that control, I kind of have a freak out, because I'm like, what if you don't have a good reputation, right? Because we all know those couples where it's like, oh, like he bagged her, like you know what I mean?
Hey.
Hi.
How does my hair look?
I don't know. How does mine look?
Didn't you just come out of the shower?
But I didn't wash my hair.
Oh, I was gonna say, how does it already have so much like
Texture to it?
not texture?
Oil?
It's not a texture.
Like
shapes.
Shapes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's because it's not fresh hair.
Yeah.
Do you have fresh hair right now?
No.
Okay.
This was last night hair.
Oh, okay. Wait, so did you sleep with wet hair?
Yeah, that's why I have.
That's why you. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
I think you can see it on the camera.
Okay. Julie has bad head.
Yeah, and it's literally 4 p.m. the next day. And it's still going on. So it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you guys, I had the best weekend of 2022. I was really happy you weren't out there listening, because I was updating your roommate about the best weekend of 2022.
Okay.
So when this comes out, actually, this is coming out in December, so I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Yeah, hope you guys were... sorry, I messed that setup up. It's giving thanks.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so wanted to say that first, but going back to my wonderful week that I had at this point a couple weekends ago.
Okay.
So I had told you guys I was going to the USC-UCLA game. And at this point, it's old news, I know, but it just... Every time I think about it, I just get so happy. Like, I think I could cry.
Okay.
I'm not gonna cry.
Think about what?
The USC-UCLA game.
And how we won?
Yes.
Fight on.
Like, it's just... I think it was so fun for me because, as I told you and the girls, just... I have never, ever received so many stanky faces in my life by strangers.
Oh, yeah. Because you have to be obnoxious. You have to be loud.
Yeah. And I don't know if you heard me while you're in the shower, but I was like complaining to your roommate, like, this woman in front of me, okay?
Okay.
Her and her husband, like, just bad vibes. We're like, do you mind screaming an octave lower? And
she asked you that?
Yeah. And I don't really remember what I said. I think I was like, it was funny. It was funny to me. And I didn't want to be like rude.
Right.
Honestly, because anybody, if you're, a little too much, you can get canceled now. But I was just like so confused because so many people were giving me the stanky eye. And to me, I'm just like, these tickets, like if you bought them, I know it was a sold out game. Right. There are so many people that would die to be sitting here in person, feeding off of the fandom and like the noise. The
energy,
like if you did not want like crazy people screaming into your ear, like why are you here?
Why are you at a sporting
event? Like you should have
event?
watched it at home.
Yeah.
Honestly, you could probably see from where we were sitting, you could probably see the players and the ball a lot clearer on the TV screen.
Right.
So the fact that we won was...
Let's rub some salt in that wound. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, that was an amazing game. And then the day after, so I already kind of lost my voice, as you can... It's recovering. It's not as bad.
You just like... She sounds sexy. Ew. She got her octave lower.
Yeah.
Octave lower.
Octave lower. I just feel like I lost my voice way too often as a kid, and now it takes like times 2, times 3 effort to actually lose my voice. Unless I get like really sick. But
anyways.
And so the next day I had the Blackpink concert with my sister. And I think like it was so fun because I didn't know what to expect.
That makes sense.
Like, I've never been to the Bank of California Stadium.
I've never been.
I don't know what the Blink fans are like.
Right.
So I just like did not know what to expect. That's why maybe it was a good performance, but actually I was getting kind of concerned because on TikTok everyone was kind of shitting on their performance, like, oh, are they like half-assed? Like they weren't like the typical K-pop performance level, you know? So I was like, oh shoot, like it they weren't the cheapest tickets.
Oh, yeah, no.
I don't know why my sister knew this information, but she was like, no, like it's going to be good because a lot of Jenny's friends are going to either be there or like they're from LA. So the energy is going to be different. So I'm just kind of like, how do you know where her friends are from or who she hangs out with?
I know who some of her friends are in LA. Yeah, she has some like normal friends who like take her out to a bunch of places. Like there was a party I went to and
she was there.
She was there. I was this close to her.
No, you
no,
weren't.
I was with Kara. It was crazy. I invited you to that party actually.
Which one?
It was one of the NFT ones. It was one of the NFT ones.
I'm sad.
Wait, that was the party that I like was like, I've never seen so much net worth in one room.
Who else was there? Oh, all her friends were popular? Oh, no, you said they were normal friends.
It was like The Weeknd, Kate Renata, CL, Alexander Wang. I think Haley was there.
Haley Bieber?
Bieber. Yeah, Haley Bieber.
I was calling Baldwin. Yeah. I mean, that's her, you know. But
yeah, it was.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Anyways,
that's crazy.
Anyways, flex.
If you followed our story, right? Yeah. I waited 3.5 hours, almost 4 hours for this.
Worth.
And honestly, maybe we'll insert a clip that I was too embarrassed to put on our story.
What?
Like, well, sometimes I'm just like, I know I'm a drama queen sometimes. And then sometimes I look at the footage of me being a drama queen and then I'm like, oh my God, Julie, you're like, relax. You're such a drama queen.
Right.
So basically they ran out, right? And the person at this merch place was like, oh, like we're not allowed to give out the ones that are on the body like mannequins until like after the show because they needed to like display the options or something like that.
Right.
So his name was David, and so our boy David was like, oh, like come back, like I'll get it to you. So I was like looking forward to that, but then we were floor seats, so I was like, okay, no, they have to have like a separate drink stand and like merch down there, right?
Right.
So we go and it's there.
Right.
So we're waiting in line, and literally one person in front of me, they shut down the merch because the concert's about to start. So I was like,
dead.
No fucking way. Like, no way. And so he was like, yeah, we're going to open up after the concert. But also like, are you really going to open after the concert?
Right.
It's in the middle of the floor.
Right.
Literally, I don't
like
really know how it's going to work.
Yeah.
So then there was one before you enter floor, just kind of like by the concessions, like of the actual stadium.
Right.
So I forewent the 3 last songs and was in line, get to the front, and they only have smalls.
No.
Yeah, they only have smalls. And so this video is...
Did you cry?
No, I didn't cry, but I'm literally just like...
Okay, they're performing their last song and we were in line. They only had a small. I don't want a small. I'm not a small.
In the moment, I was like really upset because when they released the merch, like this was all I wanted.
Right.
This was all I wanted. You asked me who my favorite is. I don't really know. I don't really have a favorite.
Oh, Jenny's my favorite for sure. She's just so pretty.
She is. She's a cutie.
You like Lisa? No?
Like maybe I like Jisoo because
nobody likes her?
She's the ambassador for Dior.
Well, because nobody likes her?
She has so many fans. Are you kidding me? Literally the TikTok that I'm on.
Compared to everyone else?
Literally the TikTok I'm on is like, oh, like I feel like Jenny has the most like
haters?
Both ends of the spectrum. Yeah. Like people, you know, like people really be hating on her, and like she'll mess up on a dance and they'll just like kind of like, oh, she's such a lazy dancer, blah blah blah, and then if Jisoo does it, it's like, oh, little cutie, you know. But then anyways, we come back out, go to the same stand that David was at, and we exchanged it for a large, and we were probably
good.
Yeah, there was like absolutely no line. We just ran there. Ran there, and I was able to get it. Oh, as you guys saw on the story at like 10 something.
Nice.
I got my shirt. So
congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But that was my weekend.
Okay.
Yeah,
you had a very
weekend.
exciting weekend.
So yeah, my favorite week. I really think this was my favorite weekend of 2022.
Oh, I worked all weekend. So
you did.
Yeah, I was on the other side of the spectrum.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted. Like I'm literally still recovering. I did like 10,000 steps a day.
Let's go.
Was just like sleep deprived. Was food deprived.
Food deprived.
Because like I'm running around for work, and so I was just so busy that like it was like, oh, like we have to get food afterwards, and so I was eating at like 9 or 10 p.m.
Your first meal?
I had like breakfast in the morning, but like it was like breakfast in the morning, like 9 or 10 a.m. and then eating like 12 hours later. First day I didn't drink any water. because I like left my water bottle in the car. Like I was just suffering, and then got to stop by Complex Con, which is super cool.
Yeah. I was like, I thought you were at a different.
I was at a different like convention, and then like we were able to like finesse some wristbands for Complex. Yeah, and like it was so crazy seeing like a bunch of my like favorite brands there like in person, because like I feel like, right, like I see them on Instagram and stuff like that, but like even like all the designers were there, like all the heads of the companies, like yeah, it was super duper cool. And then what else was I up to? Okay, this was a couple weekends ago, but I went to my first concert alone. I went to Q at the Peppermint Club.
Yeah,
and it was so good.
Wait, why couldn't I go? Because I saw you sent it to the girls.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone was
nobody responded. It's fine.
When was this?
This was a couple weekends ago. Yeah, I mean, it's fine, because honestly I've been wanting to go to a concert alone, like just to kind of experience it. Like I've been saying that, and so I was like, oh, this is my opportunity. And so I like got there, like my sister was I was like at home with Kara and my dad, and they were like, Hannah, are you sure you want to go to this alone? Like it's in West Hollywood. Like and I was like, what's West Hollywood? I was like, that's like one of the safer parts of LA. What are you talking about? And they're like, we're so concerned, like you need to be safe. Like Hannah, here, like my sister gave me her pepper spray, and in my head I'm going, Koreatown is like less safe than West Hollywood.
Did something happen? Like, why are they so concerned?
I don't know. I think they're just like, I think when you're living in the suburbs, like outside of LA, you just kind of don't understand. So they were so concerned for me, and like my sister was like tracking me, like giving me minute by minute updates and whatever. And then like I got in, and it was so good. Like I was a little nervous, admittedly. Like I was like standing at the bar, just being like, let me just get a drink to put in my hand, so like I like, you know, have something to do essentially. And literally I was like, oh, can I get a Diet Coke? And like, you know, I don't drink and all of that. And so I like was going to hand him my card, and he's like, it's fine. Like I've been noticing a lot of people, I only order Diet Coke and they won't charge me. I'm like, okay, bye.
Yeah, because they've been making so much money off of people like me, where I'll get a Truly and a beer and water at the Blackpink concert and pay $55 for it. And I tipped him 20%. So
big spender. Okay.
Well, it's just for the mood, for the vibe.
It is.
You know? Like,
no,
I don't want that to be a concern.
Oh, for sure.
So
no, for sure.
I'm happy you got your free Diet Coke.
Yeah. Also, like I've been noticing also that a lot of TikTok has been about like sober talk and people like not drinking, and it being more popular to like, you know, cut alcohol and stuff like that. And so I think it's been really interesting to like have more people kind of like not drink around me. Like I think I'm like slowly meeting more people who don't really drink, and I'm like, this is cool.
Yeah. Maybe it's because like I've kind of related to the hoe phase, you know, like sometimes like even if you don't like drinking, you just do it because that's like what people your age do, you know?
Yeah,
and then you like get over it because it's at that point it's like,
I don't really,
you know, it's like a waste of calories. I don't feel good the next day. At least for me, I feel like turn 25 and all of a sudden now I'm blacking out, so maybe it's not the healthiest thing for me. Or even like when you do drink, I feel like it's a 2-day commitment now.
It is,
Like you have a full hangover the next day, and then if you just drink that much, then like you feel it the second day as well. You're like recovering into normalcy the 2 days after hangover.
Oh, I see.
So it's, I mean, yeah, it's just you have to calculate it well.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, first concert alone, great experience. I actually saw one of my friends there, like he was like passing by me, and I was like, oh hey, like what's up? And then he was like, oh, I'm going on stage right now. Because he's a guitarist.
What?
Yeah. So if you guys want to check out Sam Yoon, it's Sam Y-U-N. I think it's Mr. Sam Yoon on Instagram. Okay, yeah, stretch it out, girly. But yeah, he's an amazing guitarist. We went to SC together, and he's doing big things.
He is.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking when you were saying you went to your concert, like kind of like a movie. Like sometimes like if a scene is exciting, you're like together, like, you know, like it's exciting together. But I feel like there are genres where maybe it's like
you don't need
someone to go with, really. Yeah. So like, would you say that was the vibe for this, for the Peppermint?
Sure. Yeah.
Is it it was at the Peppermint Club?
It was at the Peppermint Club. His name is Q.
Q.
Like Take Me Where Your Heart Is his most
Sing it
popular
for us.
song. I just want you to.
Yeah. Oh, I think I know it.
Yeah, it was really popular. It was really popular.
Okay.
But yeah, there were like plenty of people there alone. Like I wasn't the only one. Did I feel pressure to talk to anyone? Not really. I was just kind of like enjoying my time. So it was great. And also I think concerts in a way are like they can be really awkward sometimes. And so it was kind of nice to like not have to deal with the awkwardness.
Like awkward with the people that you go with?
Yeah. I think I've been to plenty of concerts where I'm standing there and I'm like, oh, this is a little awkward. I think a majority of concerts are like that. There are at least a couple minutes like in between songs and sets and stuff. Where it's a little awkward.
I don't think I go to enough.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that.
But my sister and I, we did meet a friend.
Oh.
Our seat neighbor.
Oh, fun.
Shout out Jorge.
Let's go, Jorge.
Yeah.
Was Jorge there alone?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
You see, I'm very much a believer in just doing things even if you don't have people to do them with.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like you'll make friends.
Like I feel like you weren't like that in maybe early college.
Yeah, because I wouldn't go to things.
Yeah.
I would like miss out on a lot of things if my friends couldn't come.
Or you would just buy extra tickets
and then
so that you can
invite people or sponsor them.
Yeah.
Sponsor them to come with me.
Or threaten.
Yeah. Or trick.
Yeah. Trade off.
Yeah.
Business mentality.
Always. I'm a snake.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those are our weeks. I can't believe we're already getting into like December time.
I know.
Like I've been blasting Mariah already.
I have a couple of days when I do. I'm not really, maybe it's because I don't live at home anymore.
It doesn't feel as Christmas.
I don't want to buy all this stuff again.
Oh yeah,
I don't want to buy a tree. I don't want to buy like lights and ornaments. But this week's episode, super fun. I think I'm going to be learning a lot as we speak.
Yeah.
I was literally introduced to this idea actually just a couple of hours ago.
Okay.
They're called heart motives.
Yes.
And I guess I'm just so shook that I didn't know what it was because we had that whole phase of Enneagram, Myers-Briggs, the dimensional test, like our strength finders.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I took every single test out there.
Right.
I took this random one with a tree. Do you remember the tree?
Oh, I
There's
do
a
remember the
screenshot.
tree
Yeah, I think
one,
I'm a peach tree or something like that.
Oh yeah, I don't remember what tree I am. Yeah.
Maybe apple?
I don't think it was apple. I don't remember though. I really don't.
So I truly thought all the self-identifying, personalities, I thought I did it all. And then here came the heart motives.
Yes. So the heart motives, I was introduced to it a couple years ago, but it's basically talking about like the kind of like idols or the motives that you have like deep inside, right? And so I think it does have a Christian foundational aspects, but yeah, it's basically split up into 4 different categories on what like our motives as humans are. And so the 4 categories are perfect me, respect me,
yes,
like me,
yep,
and love me. And so,
and I think similar to like love languages, like you're not just one.
you're right.
Well, I guess so. I mean, would you say everyone has to be all of them?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, everyone has to be all of them, but you just do have a more primary, secondary, or like a dominant one, I guess.
Dominant, recessive.
Yeah. Like a dominant one.
Yeah.
And I think you guys will find it pretty comical what my primary and secondary and Hannah's primary and secondary are.
Yeah.
So to kind of get into it right away. Well, when we were talking.
Julie was reading Respect Me and she's like, oh, I don't think I'm like this. And I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, you're literally like this. Like, I think, I mean, to like explain first, I guess, what a respect me is.
Well, actually, okay, let's take a little bit more back. Respect me, I think, is my secondary.
Oh.
It's perfect me.
Oh, sorry.
That is my primary. Yeah, that's when you were like, really? Because I think all the guys you've dated, right? You were like, you seem like a perfect me. And I guess the part that really got me for the perfect me is what it is. So it's just so much like me. I don't even know where to begin. Right. And it's all rooted because we were talking about like just our competitiveness, which I think out of all 4, the only one that mentioned competition and competitiveness, I think was Perfect Me.
Yeah, it was. It was.
And so, most commonly you might see people trying to perfect, school, grades, academically, or maybe even career, their economic lifestyles, even their jobs, right? But why I found this so funny was it's like to the bigger things that maybe we can all kind of relate to, including all that we just mentioned, but ethics, morals, religious values, to how you want your room arranged, right? Or how you want other people not to bother you. I thought that was so funny.
How you want other people not to bother you?
Yeah. And or peaceful social relations, like that. The first two that I just mentioned just really, really spoke to me.
Oh yeah.
Because when I think of when people ask me, are you do you keep your room clean? I can't say that it's clean, but it's definitely an organized chaos is really the way I look at it.
Yes.
And then of course I was on TikTok and they were like, your closet says a lot about how you are as a person. Right. But I'll just have these spurts of I can't figure out a freaking outfit. So I'll bring everything off the hanger. It'll be a mountain on the floor. Right. And then I'll do a mass cleaning. Oh, right.
You did that a week, a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Right. And so when I think of that, and even when I create a mess, I feel like it's very organized. It's one mountain. I'm not throwing them into every corner.
Right.
It's one mountain.
Right.
Or if sometimes I'm I definitely do not want to put this on the floor, then I make sure that they have balance on top of my shelf, and it'll be 5 to 10 things layered on top of. It's a very organized dirtiness.
I agree.
So I was even in my unorganized habits, there was perfection in the
in the way that you're doing it. Yeah. I think that's a part of perfectionism that I can also definitely see. It's kind of a peculiar particularness.
I think I'm very particular. I'm very particular. And then, so when they also mentioned how you want other people not to bother you.
Right. Your DNDAs.
Exactly. My DNDAs. And this is I feel like I'm giving away too much. And, my coworker who does this and I think she already knows, but sometimes I have this look on my face. Okay. And I think other people perceive it as wow, she is so focused, so in the zone. Right. But it's really just, don't talk to me. I don't want to be talked to. I am focused, but that's not really the motive behind the look on my face. Kind of looks like this.
Oh my God.
Kind of
she's a little scary.
Kind of and I make sure to show my ear so they know that the AirPod is in there, because I don't want to be obviously perceived as rude. Right. But I just thought it was so funny how you want other people not to bother you, right? Starting with the days that I'm not supposed to do anything. Right. To me scheduling things out months in advance. Right. And I think because I am so expressive in my face, and I think, people, a normal person would be able to read that very well. I think whether it is you thinking while she's in the zone or not. Right. At least the message was delivered. Don't bother her. Yeah. Right. And so I thought that was really, really funny.
Oh yeah. And I think when looking at these, at least for me, when I was reading through the descriptions, I was oh, this is a dead giveaway. And so do you have a dead giveaway that this was this was you?
Yes. There was another line. Okay. And I just want to read it out loud. A perfection driven person always measures him or herself according to his or her own law or standards, and always measures others by it too. I don't know if I could speak too much upon it now, because I don't know if I've really cracked that down. Okay. Because I think it will have me spiraling into another universe, to be honest. Okay. Because when I think of the relationships I've been in, right? Okay. There must be a reason why people say yin yang, opposites attract. I don't think I was too similar to my exes. Okay. But in certain things, I think we were too similar, and that's why it didn't work out.
Can you give me an example?
Okay, I'm going to mention this other part and then go back to the similarity. Okay. So in this too, what I really related with the perfectionist is right, I've identified that I'm too over optimistic with my time management skills. That's something I learned, and that's why now I do try to put in more time between the things that I do. But it said that perfectionists, perfect me people, are easily angered when others don't meet their standards, or they get upset by bad news. And how I've always said I'm very influenced by my environment. Oh, Like, even if I'm having the best freaking day, if like one person is gives me attitude, or it like has a lot of anxiety, it will bleed into me. Like, it will bleed into me.
That makes sense.
And they get angry when others violate their standards in any area, right? So from how to clean a room or musical taste. So it's in the very little things too that I can be, the word isn't really ticked off. I'm not annoyed. I am upset. I'm not annoyed. I literally get upset. Right. And at this point, I've mentioned this story a couple times, but like, for example, I think of my birthday when like I asked my sister, can you make sure this is the right way I'm turning?
Right.
And she was like, just follow the thing. But I knew my navigator, you know, when you have your phone for too long and it can't identify your location So I took the wrong turn, 50-50 chance, left or right. And she was like, just take a right. And it wasn't the right. So I gave her so much attitude for that. Right.
Right.
And so stuff like that, little things like when things don't go right. Because
like go perfect.
Yeah. Because turning that right just added on like 5 more minutes to the drive. And that's what upsets me. Right. Like, to me, that's like wasting time.
Right.
And so going back to like the similarity part, I feel like, I don't know, we'll see in the next boyfriend. I don't know. Like, I feel like I need somebody who can offset that type of instant, you know, like if I get easily angered, I feel like I need someone to kind of bring me back down. But I feel like my ex's hour energies technically did align more so that it amplified the emotion as opposed to provide perspective and calm me down.
See, that's hard though, because I think like, how would you want to be calmed down? Because I'm imagining it like, you know, if you feel invalidated.
Exactly. Because you know me, of course I thought of the other side too. Like, you know, like, you know, maybe that's not what they thought, but they wanted to be supportive. Right. So then it goes back to our episode 2 weeks ago. Of just the right person will just kind of be there and they'll know how to word what they're trying to get across by making me feel the way that I want to feel. Okay. And the right person will figure it out.
Yeah. Good luck.
So actually good luck.
Okay.
So yeah.
I will say, like, one example that I can give is that, right, holding other people to the standards that you have. I think one thing that we've always differed on is like loyalty in terms of friendships, right? I think you've always had kind of an expectation that, and this is not wrong in any way. I think we just have different viewpoints on it. Let's say like so-and-so does you dirty, right? Or does your friend dirty. Then you are automatically on bad terms with so-and-so. You know what I mean? Like Rebecca, you did Janice dirty. Rebecca, you are on my X list, right? It's always been like that. Whereas like, I think me, like, I'm like, oh, Rebecca didn't do me dirty. Like it's between them. And so I think that's one thing we've always differed on. And I feel like it kind of speaks to like, you know, this.
So that is very true if that friend and I weren't as close.
Right?
Okay. I think that's very, very true in situations like that.
Right.
Because I will say I do have some relationships, like friendships of mine, where I know like those individuals aren't necessarily friends anymore, but I'm still like either cordial, happy birthday terms. Right. You know? And so for the most part, like 98%, that is very much true, which, I mean, I know we'll talk about this in a couple of seconds or maybe in a couple of minutes, but yeah, that's why I feel like I'm not a like me or a love me, right? Or actually I'm not a like me, but you know, that's why maybe I'm a more love me than a like me, because whatever I can do to support the person that I do love, right? Like if it's a friend of ours, for example, like I only need to seek not necessarily their validation, but like make sure they know they have my support. And that I'm here for them. Like I do not give a fuck about
whoever.
The other person that is now on my
X list. I feel like you said that before,
like, right? I'm not out here trying to like ruin this person or anything. I don't need to engage or create a relationship. And then I guess the last thing I just want to say about the perfect me part, that I was like, oh, this is like really, really me, which you guys, do you remember me saying on the podcast, like, oh, I'm not a perfectionist? Like I literally have said that multiple times. So many times. What's going on? I don't know. I think I am.
I think you are.
But maybe in a non-traditional way.
Yeah.
Because I don't really talk about it, right?
Okay.
Like I'm not out here like, I expect this from you. Right. Or like I'm not out here like, I think it has to do with the stress part. Like I'm very much like I give it my all. I try to perfect it. And if I can't, I'm very accepting of the fact and I move on. Right. Learn my lesson.
Right.
So I think the difference with the perfect me part is actually perfect me people tend to focus on like the self-improvement. Like they don't necessarily seek that validation from others, but it's like me, like how can I get
how
better?
Can it benefit me? Okay.
Sounds a bit egocentric.
Well, I think all of these are egocentric.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
yeah. I hope so.
Yeah. I think they're all very much like selfish, egocentric, like looking out for how we
self.
Yeah, exactly.
To fulfill your needs.
Yeah, exactly.
But the last thing was actually that perfect me people want to be the best in their field and or their thing.
Right.
So they compete to outdo others.
And we all know our girl is competitive.
And so I will say in my 20s, right, I think a big life lesson that I learned was that like I don't need to be the only winner. Right? Like I will be honest, right? Like a big part of why I got rid of Instagram for a while was because I found myself like kind of comparing or like, oh, they got that or they're posting this cute ass photo. Like I need a better photo. Right. But because I felt like I couldn't do it and it was like mentally affecting
you,
not necessarily my confidence, but like it was stirring up a very bad
like negative
tree in me.
Okay.
I was like, I just got to get rid of Instagram. Right. Because I was comparing too much. Like, oh, I need to outdo that. But I didn't know how. And so I just got rid of it until I could find myself to think like, right. Like there can be multiple winners.
Right.
I don't need to be the only winner.
Right.
And I think we mentioned something about this when we were talking about like women putting women against each other.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Like there doesn't need to be just one, like the prettiest girl in the world. Like we were all pretty, right? Like I think like that's what I learned in my early 20s was if like her outfit, like your outfit is cute, like my outfit is cute, somebody else's outfit can be cute. Like all our outfits can be cute. Right. I don't need to be the cutest outfit wearer. Right. So naturally I do think I seek everything as a competition. But then I have to remind myself, like, we can all win. We can all win. Yeah.
Do you believe that? Do you really believe that?
Yes, I do.
But is there a winner?
Maybe in the moment, it may seem like somebody is ahead. But I think something I'm also learning is just really everything is such an ebb and flow of like, just literally everything. Like, I feel like I didn't do my best, say, at work last quarter, use that to kind of drive me to perform better this quarter. Right. But who knows, just cyclically, right? Like it's very dependent on the economy. And like, you know, it's so many things are out of my control. Naturally, some industries do better at certain times. You know what I mean? Like there's always like somebody is performing better in the moment, but they're not the winner. Right. And as we kind of say, everything averages out by 30. Right. I feel like I definitely believe that.
Yeah. I think I'm believing more so maybe like 40 now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to think about that a little bit.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I don't know why that wouldn't be true, only because really everything has kind of delayed. So I need to think about that.
I don't know.
I'm kind of hoping it's not.
Right.
But the reality is, like, was the couple from the Crash Landing on You, I believe they're 40 and she just gave birth. Right? So I think, just everything in life has kind of delayed. Yeah. But that is all I have to say about my primary. Right. I think I'm a perfect me. Right.
And it's crazy to think that when we were first looking at this, you said, I don't think I'm a perfect me.
Like that was, I didn't even read it. Like I was like,
you're like, that's not me. And I was like, what you talking about? What you talking about? Because I think one of the dead giveaways was the competitiveness. Yeah. And then also like, I think like just seeking to better yourself. Like I think that's something like I've noticed in you.
I think that was a really big part. And I think for a little bit I forgot how competitive I was. And well, I was thinking about the competitive part just yesterday, just driving by myself. And I think for a hot sec, let's just say in like 2021, I don't think I was doing enough things that I found enjoyable, or like I wasn't challenging my self-growth enough, and therefore I forgot I was competitive.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Because I think like, you get into like flow states and like kind of like habit building when you are competing.
Yeah.
You know? So
just very like easy example, like work.
Right.
I think I was packing my schedule so much. I always had to leave like 5:30.
Right.
But I think gaining that momentum of putting in some extra hours, or even like giving myself that time to maybe like catch up on some things like when I do get home, has set me up for a better next day to kind of like fall into this good momentum and cycle.
Yeah.
Which like if you're in recruiting, an advice my boss told me was everything comes in waves with recruiting, right? Because you send outreach all at once and then everyone kind of responds at the same time.
I see.
So if you send say like 200 and you hear back from say 50 and like 25 are yeses, then your email was kind of like, oh, this week or next week. So then all of a sudden you have like 20-25 calls to like schedule type of thing.
Right.
So like there's always like momentum in like the job. And so that's kind of an example, right? Just like being able to put in the extra hours, or like even catering more flexible time to be able to do that, to gain that like rhythm of things, but also obviously football.
Yes.
I cannot forget to mention
of course not.
football.
What do you mean? Yeah. I was wondering when you were going to bring it up.
I'm excited. It's coming up soon. I think that might be my update for you guys next week.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So I think I just now finally getting into things that I do want to do purposefully. Yeah, definitely increase my competitiveness again.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
What
So
about
that was
you?
primary.
Yeah.
Primary.
Yeah, that was my primary.
Oh, okay.
What is your primary? What is your primary?
So I was kind of like going through them, being like, I don't know what I am. I'm 100% a like me.
Yeah, you too. You're like, no, I'm not a like
I'm
me.
not a like me. What do you mean? I'm like seeking other people's validation. I want other people to like me. Yeah, that is definitely me.
So what defines a like me heart motive?
Okay, so the way that they kind of explain it is that like me's behavior is driven by a desire to be liked and to be popular, to be honest. And so something that they can get upset about is if this goal is not met. It's like when other people like don't like you, or even if like your reputation or popularity is threatened. So to, you know, kind of
Oh my God.
delve deep into this, right?
Yes, let's dive into it.
So like whenever I like think about being in a relationship or my partner, one thing I've always kind of like, I don't know if I've ever really said this out loud, but like I think about how they affect my reputation.
Ooh.
I don't really like, because I have full control over how I'm being perceived by others, how I'm building my reputation. But I think when it comes to a partner, because like obviously they're their own human being, and like I lose that control, I kind of have a freak out, because I'm like, what if like you don't have a good reputation, right? Because we all know those couples where it's like, oh, like he bagged her, like you know what I mean? And so like I think that's why I've always like put a lot of pressure on like who would be like my boyfriend, you know what I mean? Because like I think dating to an extent, like it's literally like me trying to kind of get to know them, get to know myself, and like kind of our dynamics. But then I think like official relationships, like those are going on the fucking report card. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Everything else is just like random assignments through the semester. But like relationships are report cards.
Yeah. Which is funny because the perfect me, I am holding other people at the standard that I have for myself. So I feel like for the most part, we have very, very similar approaches to life, life goals, like ethics, morals, all that stuff. And so I usually kind of like stand by them if they make a statement in public, you know, like if we're at a dinner together. But honestly, like that's a little triggering. But I mean, what are your thoughts on like, I don't know. I guess I want to have the type of relationship where if they do say something like egregious though, like in like a table where our friends are sitting, like I want to speak my opinion,
right?
Even if it's like counteract, like, you know what I mean? If it's not, even if it's not supportive. But what are your thoughts? Because I also saw TikToks where like, right, husband and wife, I mean, not that we were husband and wife, but right, you need to be like one, even if you don't agree with your husband. So maybe that's something that you should do when you're husband and wife, maybe not necessarily boyfriend, girlfriend, I don't know. But hopefully they have enough sense of humor to like not take it so personally.
Okay, well, here's the difference. I think like the way that you're thinking about the situation is like whether or not you're supporting your significant other, right?
Yeah.
So I think that is very much more perfect me, whereas the way that I'm thinking about it is, how is this affecting my reputation because of this individual's actions? Like if they say something egregious, like with their friends, I start I will panic. I will literally panic because I'm like, holy shit, did you really just say that in front of all our friends? And so I think in both situations, neither of us will say anything, like in front of everyone, right? Like it's like behind closed doors, but it's for different reasons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like mine is like, I'm fucking embarrassed. Whereas like yours is more like we don't seem like we have a united front.
Yeah. If I did say something.
Right.
But then I will choose to not say something because I guess, like I like mine derives from like wanting to support. Like that's what support looks like to me.
Right. It's like the whole like loyalty kind of aspect playing in.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Whole life.
Whole life. And so I'm very much like me. I think like even when I think about work to an extent, right? Or like the amount that I've gone out this year alone, I think very much speaks to the like me portion of this, because like a lot of times when I go out, I was going out with the intention of networking, of like meeting people. And more than like meeting people, I think I'm realizing now it's like I want them to like me, which is why low key, like I'm like, oh, I can have fun in any environment, because also like I think that's how I get people to like me. Is like kind of like just like through my energy. Like I don't need a drink, I don't need to smoke, I don't need to do any like anything, like just get me some water, you know what I mean? And like I will bring the energy, and hopefully that will like kind of woo you, you know?
Do you feel like let's say just for the male population, right? Like do you feel like sometimes you find someone more attractive because they haven't necessarily given you that confirmation or affirmation that they like you? Like not even romantically, just like maybe as a person. I mean, I doubt you come across people that people probably don't dislike you, but
I'm sure there's some,
but if they don't give you that like initial, like, oh my God, Hannah, you're so great, like blah, blah, blah. Like, do you feel like you find some type of attraction to them?
If I don't like get the affirmation, I think that's when I'm more attracted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's the whole like chase mentality.
Yeah.
Of just like, oh, as soon as I win you over, I'm no longer interested. Yeah.
But do you feel like that happens often? Because then how do you differentiate if you like genuinely like this person or you just wanted attention from them?
You see, we did our episode like, do I like him or do I like the attention?
Oh, yes,
a while
we did.
back.
Yeah.
I cannot identify.
Okay.
I literally like I've been thinking about that episode a lot, and I'm like, damn,
I need to listen to it again.
Yeah, because like thinking about it, like dating apps, for example, like I think a lot of people aren't answering the question like, what are you like, why are you on the dating apps like straight? Like I think most people are like, oh, like they'll give you the answer of like, oh, like I'm looking for something short term, something long term, like I'm going with the flow. But like in reality, it's like, why are you on the dating apps? It's like because I want like companionship. Like I just like I feel a little lonely. You know what I mean? And so yeah, I don't know, that's something like I've been kind of thinking about more, is just like I think it's very much like human nature to like want to be with somebody.
Oh yeah.
No matter who that is. Yeah.
1000%.
Yeah. And so
it's weird. I think, right, we also a couple episodes ago identified that the way we seek attention is very different, right? Where you're more like a little low key,
yes,
but you want the attention, spotlight. I'm a bit more loud about it,
right?
But I feel like when it comes to boys too, I think the approach is also a little different because it's too stressful. It goes back to the stress intolerance.
Oh, really?
Of like if I was seeking the attention and they gave me attention, but then I wasn't interested, like I don't know how to
deal with that.
Yeah, to conclude that situation.
Oh, whoa.
So, anyways, like me, very much not like me.
Oh yeah, no, this is 100% me. Like to the point where it said, I will compromise my moral principles and values to go along with the group. Dude, I literally used to not express what I wanted to eat just in case somebody made a bad comment about the restaurant. You know what I mean? Like, it's not my fault that this restaurant's food is bad, but like because for some reason I was like, oh, but I suggested it. Like I was like took on that responsibility. And so like now I've taken the position of not suggesting things.
Yeah.
But
see, in a situation like that, like I would feel angered because, okay, then why didn't you look up a restaurant? Like if we're going to go with, like if you're not going to contribute, then we're just going to go with whoever finds something.
Exactly.
Right. And that is that. So you do not have the right
to
bash on it.
Right.
So,
which I think I've gotten more to that side of just like, well, you didn't help me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Can I call you out?
Yeah, call me out.
So that part was really funny that you mentioned. Remember when we made our non-negotiables?
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure, in my memory, you tweaked one of them. Like it changed from like I
think it did tweak. I know what you're talking about.
Should I share the example? Yeah. It changed from like Christian, like to just seeks a higher being because they weren't Christian. And I was like, okay, because we made the non-negotiables, which
we made the non-negotiables before I started dating my ex, right? And then my ex was not Christian, he was Catholic, right? And so that's what happened.
Yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. And right now, I don't know where I stand, so we'll leave it at that.
I think when the time is right, we'll kind of get back to that.
Yeah.
To make that list.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so we went through our primaries. Secondary. What's your secondary?
Yeah. So my secondary, really also, I was like, not me, and it's respect me. Because I have to be honest, I'm never straight up like, I demand respect from this individual. I'm never like, I'm doing this to like, actually, we'll see about that. But like initially my thought process isn't like I'm doing this to gain respect.
Right.
But I guess if you interchange the word like respect with like reputation, maybe like I'm very much respect me. Because where like is genuinely like being liked, like you know that this person does not have negative feelings type of thing.
Right.
Respect is more so approval. Right. Like, and I was about to say I don't really know what I want approval on, but I guess I guess I do know. Right. It's just like, oh, she's doing well for herself. Like she either dresses nice or looks nice. Like has something going for us. Like, you know, like I definitely, it's more so like, I don't need to hear it, but I think I want to present myself in a way where it will give off that impression.
So do you think about how other people are thinking about you?
Well, I'm not like lingering. I'm not like thinking about how are other people thinking of me, but I think more so with the perfect me side, it's more like, let me present myself in a way where at least I'm confident that people will be approving.
Oh, right? That makes sense. Yeah.
So whether that be like how I speak at work or how I show up to work, how I show up to church, how I am being introduced to my friends' friends, my parents' friends, right? Like making sure, to me, sometimes the best, but just be or above presentation.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Like approval worthy.
Yeah, approval worthy.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I'm not so hung up on the fact of like, does that person respect me? But it's like me knowing. Right.
So
I guess it's like you guys, the first sentence of respect me was like very intertwined with the perfect me.
Right.
So it's more so a mixture of both. Like it's me, myself knowing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. And I think like another sentence that like kind of stood out to me was that like it's like kind of looking to others for your own benefit, you know?
I was just about to say that. I was literally just about to say that. And I am so aware of this. And I actually struggle with it a little bit because when we're doing like at least like charity work or like volunteer stuff for church or like even giving, right? Like,
are you going to post about it?
But that is a great example. You know, that's a great example. Like, am I doing it like to spread the awareness of that an event like this is going on, or am I showing it for my own benefit? Right. To get that approval of presenting that reputation. And so being so aware of that, I get confused. Like, okay, I'm aware of that. I'm gonna do it because I don't want to be like that.
Right.
But I've already kind of said like I'm gonna do it because I don't want to be like that. But I feel like I am still doing it for both.
Yeah.
But because I'm doing it for my benefit too, like I feel guilty.
Oh, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean.
I genuinely want to do it for the good,
but like a part of
but
it,
a little bit. There's like a little bit for myself.
Yeah.
So even that little bit makes me feel like
it's not.
I'm doing it for myself.
Yeah. It's like inauthentic.
Yeah.
I completely feel you on this because like, right, like we'll get people like approaching us like outside of the grocery store and stuff like that, and like I don't stop. I will just walk in with my AirPods in and like pretend like I have music playing, you know? But then there was one time I like actually like stopped and talked to them, and like why was it the one time I was with like my cousin? You know what I mean? And so like I feel like it was like the whole like, was this for like the benefit of whatever I was donating to, or was it like just to be like, you know, perceived in a certain way? So I think this is a very like human thing, right? Like to have like kind of like ulterior motives, and it feels a little dirty even though you like want it to be like, you know, like with true intentions and all of that. So yeah.
For me, like we just said, I do feel like my respect me and perfect me are very much not one and the same, but very interchangeable, or they affect each other a lot.
Yeah. That makes sense.
That leaves us to one.
Look at Julie and I being complete opposites, fulfilling each other's needs. Literally, because the last one is love me, and this one's similar to like me, but it's like more concerned with the meaningful love of like close relationships, and so it's like close friends, family, and like a significant other. And so I think like, right, I kind of like see this show up when I guess like almost in like the first few dates. I think I like can see this show up where it's like, right, you're like, oh, does this person like, are they interested, and all of that. And I think like even like when I think back to like childhood, right, I look at a lot of the examples of media that I was consuming, and it was always love based, right? Like all of the TV shows, like even now a lot of the TV shows I watch are either like so stupid my brain is frying, or or it's like K-dramas where I'm like bawling my eyes out because I'm like, oh my god, they love each other, like it's so cute. And I think it's something that I've always idolized, to be completely honest, is to like, you know, have like that fictional like love story ish.
Sad.
Why are you sad?
Because maybe it can be real life.
It can be, or it cannot be.
It can. Maybe there will be a guy running up to you, you know, his jacket over and on a rainy day, or like magically pulls out an umbrella from, and then just, you know, you guys like shoulder to shoulder. I feel like it can happen.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think that's like a big, okay, I'm gonna be completely honest. I think that's a big reason why I liked my ex, was because like
he was princess treatment.
Yeah, like straight princess treatment.
So it's possible.
Yeah, it is possible. It is possible for sure. I think one really big thing about this is like, it says that love me's get easily upset if their needs of affection are not met. And so I can name multiple examples of when I felt like kind of like I don't want to say like neglected, but like I wasn't feeling loved because they were late. I think that like on dates, I've like had like multiple dates like kind of fall through like within the hour, right? And so I think like now I've like built up like a kind of like a trauma response of just like I get really fucking upset when someone is late, and I think it's because I don't feel loved. Like I feel a little abandoned.
I feel like I'm such a petty individual. Well, I remember like the kind of more recent one, right? He was like, so like, when should we reschedule?
Right. And I was like, what are you talking about?
I would have just reciprocated the same behavior. The pettiness in me.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, he still likes my like Instagram stories. Like, I think, dude, people liking Instagram stories is way more like intimate than anything else. Like literally, I'm like, why are you liking my story?
Yeah.
And then like inevitably I will go click on his story and just, you know, give it a little view. Yeah. But side note.
I remember there was this one like church, you know, group, you know, were you in that one? We were talking about like, oh, do you get angry easily? And everyone was like, oh, I don't get angry easily. I feel like I get angry really easily.
Yeah,
I
which
need
is
a lot of
fine.
patience and calm and like love in my life. But so like I just mentioned that because I feel like when I'm not reciprocated, and maybe to me like it has to do with respect. Like you must have really not respected my time to feel like it is okay to cancel in less than an hour. Like the audacity.
The freaking audacity. Yeah.
Yeah, like
yeah.
my initial reaction is anger, but I'm also a very big believer of everything happens for a reason. So then I won't sulk in it though. I just like, that's rude. That sucks.
Right.
And then if he seeks for my attention,
then
I would just reciprocate it.
Payback.
Yeah. Like, I don't think I ever told my ex this, but do you remember when he ghosted me for 2 days?
I do
During the
remember.
talking phase,
Yeah,
right?
I remember.
I don't know what was going on. Like, right. And I am so not adventurous with my dates, right? Like I am very much planned the date.
Right.
And so ghosts me for 2 days. And then on the day of our date night, right after not having talked to me for 2 full days,
Right.
he was like, so like date still happening type of thing.
Right.
So I guess like he did his part in like checking on the date.
Right.
But I was like kind of upset that nothing happened for 2 full days.
Right.
I like made up some like ridiculous, I was like, what did I say? Oh, I just like didn't respond. I don't know. I think I just didn't respond. Or I think I responded and then I didn't respond for a whole day.
Oh.
Right. And then I think I told him like I left my phone at home. And I was away, like out of town. Who leaves their phone?
Oh, and you're going out of town.
Yeah. And I mean, it was, I think, a better lie than just getting out of town. But yeah, it was like, oh, like I'm not doing anything today. Like, I want to meet up today. And it was like a Monday night.
Right. I remember this.
I remember this because I just would have never.
You would have never. Yeah. I
so
was like actually surprised that like I didn't know about the date a week beforehand.
Yeah,
you know?
I was feeling very spontaneous, I guess.
Yeah.
And so like, right. Like, so I guess, yeah, I did the same thing. That's just kind of how I feel about it.
Yeah, I mean, actually, like, I will say a big part of, like, when that one guy, like, you know, didn't show up the hour of or whatever, I do think I felt disrespected too, right? And so I think that, like, further reiterates that, like, we are all of these. It's it's just more, like, you know, primary, secondary, etc. Yeah, I think it's just like I want attention and I want to be like, I want affection and I want to be loved, like I want to be liked, like I don't know, I don't know what to say about it. I'm a fucking simp. Like, I'm a lover girl.
You know, I was telling your roommate, right, like you said, it's very human, it's very natural to want that companionship. Right? This is something my ex and actually talked about a lot. Like, it's very normal. Like, even though someone is single and they say, they're not ready to date or whatever, like, the thing is, like, innately, I feel like everyone seeks everyone, right? Yeah. And I was just thinking about, like, as I was speaking this, I came to the realization of, I do want to get back into dating, of, like, having that companionship or that partner. But what's stopping me is thinking that I'll have to get rid of my alone time or that like that time for myself, which is actually maybe something that I just adopted from my most recent experience.
Yeah.
Right? Like maybe in a suited relationship for me, like I can have that companionship and time for myself.
Oh yeah. I was literally just gonna say, I think this is like a
unlearn.
Yeah.
Situation.
Exactly. Like you need to unlearn the fact that like not all relationships are gonna,
and I'm sure like I hope like he finds someone who like loves
spending all their time. Yeah.
Something because we didn't agree on is like when I want alone time, that literally means alone. Like I want to be like not in the same building.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Building. Like I don't want to be there.
Yeah.
But you know, there are people like that feel like alone time is being in the same space but doing separate things. But to me, I don't think that's alone time.
No, that's not alone time. Yeah. Okay.
This was a realization today, a couple hours ago. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you guys can look up heart motives, kind of decide for yourself based off of what we said.
Share with us.
Yeah, tell us what your heart motives are. But yeah, you guys can give us a follow on Instagram and TikTok at perfectgogi.podcast, on Twitter at perfectgogi.podcast, me on Instagram at HANAKATTT.
And me at BEJULIFIED.
1, 2, 3.
My voice is so low, it can go lower.
Octave.
I could not believe that woman asked me that.
I know, that's so rude. So rude. Of course, you're UCLA. Yeah.
All right. Oh, yeah, they were UCLA.
Oh, yeah. Fight on, baby.
Bye.
Bye.